Everybody has started noticing something very strange on YouTube lately, because no matter what Nollywood movie people click on these days, somehow the algorithm keeps dragging them back to Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts again, and again, like YouTube itself, has decided that Nigerians are not escaping that combo anytime soon. And the funny part is that it is not even only one channel doing it, because several 2026 Nollywood channels have suddenly turned their entire upload strategy into pushing Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts movie titles aggressively like their lives depend on its skull. 1 minute, you are watching a random family drama, and the next thing YouTube is recommending the billionaire's secret wife, the girl he couldn't resist, loving the wrong brother. Fake marriage but real feelings, and somehow Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts are always on the thumbnail staring at each other like the internet owes them rent. Loudly crying face viewers are now joking that these channels have discovered some kind of hidden cheat code, because every time those two appear together the comments section becomes a complete war zone, and the watch time goes crazy. Collision. And honestly, the channels are not even hiding it anymore, because once one Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts movie starts trending, 5 other channels immediately rush to upload similar titles with almost the same emotional thumbnails before the day ends. Loudly crying face people started thinking it was coincidence at first until they noticed that even channels that normally post different actors suddenly switched styles completely after seeing the numbers those videos were pulling. And now the entire recommendation page is beginning to look like a Maurice, Sam cinematic universe skull. The craziest part is that viewers are actually feeding the algorithm without even realizing it, because the moment fans enter the comments section to argue about chemistry, relationships, hidden feelings, and the way he looks at her, YouTube immediately interprets all that activity as gold and starts pushing the movie harder to more people. Loudly crying face. So now the channels have realized that this combo is not just bringing views, but also keeping people glued to videos for longer periods, because fans are replaying scenes, reading comments, replying to strangers, and basically camping under the videos like it is a live football match. Collision. Some people even noticed that certain channels have started designing thumbnails specifically to trigger reactions before anybody even clicks, because they already know fans will overanalyze every facial expression between Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts. Loudly crying face. One thumbnail will show them standing too close together, and suddenly the comments are full of "something is definitely going on here," while another thumbnail with emotional crying faces immediately sends fans into detective mode. Skull. And honestly, the channels are loving every second of it, because strong watch time plus emotional comments equals YouTube recommendations going insane. Loudly crying face. There are even viewers saying they cannot scroll for 5 minutes without seeing another dramatic title involving Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts, because the algorithm has now fully accepted them as one of the safest attention-grabbing combinations Nollywood YouTube space right now. Collision. And the funny thing is that the movies themselves do not even need to be perfect, because once the chemistry looks believable for a few scenes, fans will do the rest of the marketing for free. Loudly crying face people will start clipping moments, creating edits, reposting emotional scenes, and dragging more viewers into the cycle, until the movie starts looking bigger than it actually is. Skull. Some channels are even getting accused of intentionally choosing exaggerated titles just to bait fans into emotional reactions, because they already know the audience cannot resist clicking anything that hints at romance, betrayal, jealousy, or hidden tension involving those two. Loudly crying face. And once the click happens, the algorithm immediately starts cooking again. Collision. Now every Nollywood content creator on YouTube is paying attention, because these recommendation numbers are not normal anymore, and some channels reportedly started adjusting their upload timing completely around movies featuring Maurice, Sam and Pearl Watts, because they noticed those uploads attract faster engagement within the first few hours. Loudly crying face people are now calling it one of the smartest accidental formulas Nollywood YouTube has discovered in 2026, because the channels have basically figured out that audiences are addicted to emotionally charged on-screen chemistry more than anything else. Skull. And honestly, fans are not helping matters, because instead of calming down, they are making everything worse by turning every small interaction into a trending discussion. Loudly crying face. One simple scene where Maurice, Sam smiles at Pearl Watts for 2 seconds suddenly becomes a 30-comment debate about energy, vibes, and unspoken feelings. Collision. Meanwhile, the channels are sitting back comfortably watching the engagement numbers explode like fireworks. Some viewers even believe YouTube itself has now categorized Maurice Sam and Pearl Watts content as high retention material, because people rarely click away quickly once those movies start playing. Skull fans keep waiting for romantic tension, dramatic twists or emotional moments, so the average watch duration increases naturally, and that is exactly the kind of thing YouTube rewards: aggressively loudly crying face. This is why those movies keep appearing everywhere, even when viewers are trying to watch something completely unrelated, because the system already knows people are likely to stop scrolling once they see those faces together. Collision, and now newer Nollywood channels are copying the formula too, because they have seen how successful it became. For bigger channels, everybody suddenly wants their own viral Maurice Sam and Pearl Watts moment, because the traffic is simply too tempting to ignore. Skull, some people even joked that if you remove those two from YouTube recommendations for 1 week, half the Nollywood channels might panic. Loudly crying face, because right now their names alone are carrying insane attention online, and the audience reaction keeps proving why the channels refuse to slow down. Collision, what makes everything even crazier is that fans genuinely enjoy participating in the madness, because the emotional storytelling mixed with strong on-screen chemistry creates the perfect environment for endless discussions. Loudly crying face people are not just watching the movies anymore. They are experiencing them like weekly internet events. Skull, every upload turns into another opportunity for fans to scream, speculate, ship and overreact in the comments, while YouTube quietly keeps recommending the content to millions more viewers. Collision, and at this point, it honestly feels like the algorithm has fully accepted that Maurice Sam and Pearl Watts movies are one of the easiest ways to keep Nollywood audiences emotionally trapped on the platform for hours. Loudly crying face.